Well, this was a request, so I have to do it. Brother, brother, there's too many of you dying. Mother, 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 there's too many of you crying. You know we gotta find a way to bring some love here today.
Hello, all you music hippies out there. This is Hippie welcoming you to another episode of the Jammin' at Hippie Jacks Radio Hour. The Jammin' at Hippie Jacks Radio Hour features limited edition music we've recorded here on the farm and on the road for our Americana Roots music show that appears on PBS affiliates across the nation. You're listening to the Jammin' at Hippie Jacks Radio Hour right here on East Tennessee's own WDVX, 89.9 and 102.9 on your FM radio dial. And for those of you outside of listening range, like my new friend Yvette Landry down there in Bow Bridge, Louisiana, you can get us on the internet at www.wdvx.com. Special thanks to our good friend Seth Lichtenstein and all the good people out at Hertz Lichtenstein and Young in sunny California. I hope it's not raining. They are keeping the music going. Today's show will feature two of my favorite performers who came over and put in some time in the hippie bus a couple of weeks ago. Just me and a couple of really good microphones, and Daryl Scott and Malcolm Holcomb. And it was pretty much just like sitting around your living room, only much, much better music. So without further ado, I want to introduce Malcolm Holcomb, opening up the first part of today's show with a song called Savannah Blues that he wrote. And then right after he did that song by himself, Daryl Scott came walking up with a guitar that was given to him and made by Guy Clark. And you know what? It just gets cooler and cooler. And then they do Old Joe Clark together. So this is Daryl Scott, Malcolm Holcomb, kicking it off.
It's cool in Savannah, like the last time I know. It's cool in Savannah, like the last time I know. I feel lost and hurting, and thirsty like before. Ain't nobody don't see me when I look 'em in the eye. Ain't nobody, they don't see me when I look 'em straight up in the eye. They just stare behind my back, don't care about if I die. It's raining in Savannah, my bones are aching all the time. Raining down in Savannah and my poor bones, they just aching all the time. That undertaker's mean and ugly, he's a humming in the pines. Crazy way of dying, sinking low down in my head. It's a crazy way of dying, sinking low down in my head. See, I'm deep below the sunshine, and hear the cold and lonely bed. It's crowded in the ground, and ain't nobody knows my name. Crowded down here, everybody knows my name. You see, everybody's in a box. Everybody looks the same. Yellow fever is awful bad, and I ain't got no money for a bill. The yellow fever is awful bad, I ain't got no money for a bill. See, I've been bad here alive, ain't nobody gonna tell. I like this one. This is a good one.
I like this one. Let me sit back.
Well, old Joe Clark, he made his mark when cotton was king. And late at night, neath the shiny light, you could hear that banjo ring. And it would ring out for the master, listening on the hill. And it would ring out for the baby, sleeping quiet and still. Well, around and around, old Joe Clark, around and around, I say. Round and around, old Joe Clark, until the break of day. When he came out of the belly ship of slavery, he was a holding to his banjo, but it was not on his knee. Then someone said, hey, here's a strong one, he can entertain. So we'll let you keep your banjo, but Clark's gonna be your name. Around and round, old Joe Clark, better play it when they say. Round and around, old Joe Clark, they'll carry you away. Round and round, round and round, old Joe Clark, round and round, round and and even played for Lincoln once outside the courthouse square. Then he went down to New Orleans, they called it Dixieland, on a Trailways bus, reading a murder mystery, Agatha Christie. Oh, but everywhere that old Joe played, he was still a hired hand. Everywhere that old Joe played, he was still a hired hand, singing round and round. Singing round and round. Singing round and round. camels round and round. Back in 29.
That kind of sums it up right there, doesn't it? That's a, oh, Lord.
I heard him talk down at the sawmill.
That was Daryl Scott and Malcolm Holcomb finishing off the first part of the set there with old Joe Clark. You're listening to the Jammin' at Hippie Jacks Radio Hour right here on East Tennessee's own WDVX 89.9 and 102.9 on your FM radio dial. And for those of you outside of listening range, like our good friend Seth out there in California, www.wdvx.com. Hope you're listening. May 21st through the 24th, the Jammin' and Hippie Jacks Memorial Day weekend. Outdoor music, art, camping, firefly, river, mountains, creekside wading, great food, great fun, hula hooping festival. May 21st through the 24th. www.jammin@hippiejacks.com. All right, second part of the show today, once again featuring the great Malcolm Holcomb and the great Daryl Scott. Malcolm's going to do one of his songs to start with, Grace and Sand, and then they're going to join in Keep Your Dirty Lights On, and then a fine collaboration on a song that is written about the patron saint of Jammin' and Hippie Jacks, a man whose ashes rest under an heirloom apple tree on my farm, the late, great Tim Kreckle. This is Louisville Slugger. I can't tell you how much it means to me that Malcolm wrote that song. This is, once again, Daryl Scott and Malcolm Holcomb.
Hush my mouth, Lord, and mind my heart, open shades of gray. Work my hands, holding face, steadfast by grace and sand. Let's see. Now it rags on a bush and you turn in the ground, rolling steep but still. Precious days that shine in place, steadfast by grace and sand. Songs out of love, not long enough, born a wounded son. Living for goodness sakes he stands, steadfast by grace and sand. My pictures tell the strength of 10, breaking backs have been, knowing the pain overstrained, steadfast by grace and sand. Songs out of love, not long enough, born a wounded son. Living for goodness sakes he stands, steadfast by grace and sand. Out of love ain't long enough, they born a wounded son. Living for goodness sakes he stands, steadfast by grace and sand. I know a shameful lazy man, the man better than he knows me. must confess, one witness heard, one mankind thoughtful word. Songs out of love, they ain't long enough. Born a wounded son, living for goodness sake he stands, steadfast by grace and sand. Hush my mouth, Lord, and mind my heart, open shades of gray. Thanks. That's a, you go around your elbow to get to your ass or something like that.
Say the name of that song.
Grace and Sand. It's just an old tune thinking about passing and
Mm-hmm.
what was that? Yeah. That's
Well, my daddy came from coal dust. Me, I'm about the same. But if you've read King Cole's ledger book, then you've seen my family name. It used to take a camp of miners to load that train and gone. Now there's more in my crew and we do what we do to keep your dirty lights on. Keep your dirty lights on. Keep your dirty lights on. If you got money in your pocket and a switch on the wall, we'll keep your dirty lights on. Well, my dad, he worked in darkness, and me, it's in broad daylight. I'd blow a whole seam like my daddy never dreamed, using no bells, dynamite. Well, as long as there's a coal in them mountains, we're gonna blow it up and burn it till it's gone. Well, we can't stop blowing mountain tops, we gotta keep your dirty lights on. Yeah, keep your dirty lights on. Keep your dirty lights on. If you got money in your pocket and a switch on the wall, we'll keep your dirty lights on. They talk about coal is clean. Well, coal is cheap, but coal's still black. It ain't never turning green. So plug your electric car in, charge it good and strong, and do your shopping online. We'll get you every time just to keep your dirty lights on. Keep your dirty lights on. Money in your pocket and a switch on the wall, we'll keep your dirty lights on. Keep your dirty lights on. We're gonna keep your dirty lights on. If you got money in your pocket and a switch on the wall, we're gonna keep your dirty lights on. On if you pay us some money, we'll blow up the mountaintops for you. You want power, don't you? We got your power right here. Keep your dirty lights. Keep your dirty lights. Keep your dirty lights. Oh, keep them on.
Louisville Slugger is Geronimo. He's downtown Broadway, loud rock and roll. Radar Town and Mark on the cover. Music plays on from the Louisville Slugger. And the years slip by at a whisper, but the songs of the picker and the singer keep living. The name has a face, the lips of a stranger, kind of warm, never forsaken. Louisville Slugger and Geronimo, he was downtown Broadway, loud rock and roll. Radar Town, Mark on the cover. Music plays on from Louisville Slugger. Don't remember much of nothing. Happened one night, but we played up some songs in that old bar room right there. Soft pillows don't matter when your head keeps thrashing. Jack told us the truth like it really just happened. Louisville Slugger and Geronimo, he was downtown Broadway, loud rock and roll. Radar Town and Mark on the cover. Music plays on from the Louisville Slugger. I bet you can sing something you don't too. Yeah. Friends do you favors when you might least expect it, like scattered your ashes underneath some old branches. 7 years passed and my apple tree is empty to the ashes from the slugger. Gave one tree plenty. Louisville Slugger and Geronimo, downtown Broadway, loud rock and roll. Radar Town, Mark on the cover. Music plays on from a Louisville Slugger. Louisville Slugger and Geronimo, downtown Broadway, loud rock and roll. Rex my blowing steam, Mark on the cover. Music plays on from a Louisville Slugger.
I'm tearing it up over here.
We just had a flat tire.
Flat tire.
Moving down on the bus.
Thanks for writing that, Malcolm.
Well, I didn't write that. I was just passing along the tale.
That means a lot to me. That was Daryl Scott and Malcolm Holcomb finishing up the second part of the show today with that great song about Tim Krekel, Louisville Slugger. Thanks again, Malcolm. I love you for writing that, man. You're listening to the Jammin' at Hippie Jacks Radio Hour right here on East Tennessee's own WDVX. 89.9, 102.9 on your FM radio dial, www.wdvx.com for all those outside of listening range. Hippie's built himself a church out here, children, so it's a music church. Don't get too worried about me. It's the Hippie Tabernacle Outlaw Gospel Music Church, and we're going to start in March. And we're going to have very intimate listening room experiences in an incredible environment. We're going to make TV and radio out there, and we're going to have small groups of people in to enjoy great songwriting, great performers. www.jammingathippieJacks.com. Check our Facebook. You can find out all about it. We're going to do some more Malcolm and Daryl here. It was a great afternoon in the back of the hippie bus on the West Fork of the Obie River, right here in beautiful Overton County in Middle Tennessee. It was a little chilly, but we had a heater on. Going to start the first part of this set with Country Boy. It's a Daryl Scott song. And then a really fine rendition of Teaching Michael Anthony, which is a Malcolm Holcomb song that they do together so well. And then we're going to finish up this part of the show with You're Everything I Wanted Love to Be, which, of course, Daryl Scott wrote. This is Daryl Scott, Malcolm Holcomb, once again.
Did you ever have a nickel?
Oh, yeah.
And wished you had a dime? Did you ever search your troubled soul but could not find your mind? Did you ever lay your body down with someone that don't love you? The country boy has been there. That's what makes him sing the blues. Oh, it's not the drinks you bought him, it's not the tips you gave. From the rocking of his cradle to the covering of his grave. Oh, you'll never know the loneliness or sorrow he goes through. The country boy has been there. That's what makes him sing the blues.
Oh, yeah.
Now when he sings about a love gone wrong, there's no tears in his eyes, but the lonely noise cried out all the hurt he feels inside. And singing to the broken hearts, that's all that's left to do. The country boy has been there. That's what makes him sing the blues. Oh, it's not the drinks you bought him, it's not the tips you gave. From the rocking of his cradle to the covering of his grave. You'll never know the loneliness or sorrow he goes through. The country boy has been there. That's what makes him sing the blues.
Oh, man. That's just lonesome. That's lonesome.
Wayne Scott.
Been known to disappear now and then. God only knows where you've been. There's a train overriding yesterday. Idle worries in the way. Teaching Michael Anthony your name. hermit keeps children singing back in church, clutching him closer to the scraps, exhausting every muscle possible, outlasting carelessness, teaching Michael Anthony your name. Time soon learns Mormon goodness from the past. God only knows what will last. There is a child, and there is gladness in your eyes, willing to change a made-up mind, teaching Michael Anthony your name. I've been known to disappear now and then. God only knows where you've been, teaching Michael Anthony your name. Teaching Michael Anthony your name.
There's a sadness, and I've heard it in the breeze. There's a sorrow in the falling of the leaves. There's an emptiness when you live your life alone. I'm so glad my lonely days and nights are gone. Now and then someone special comes along. Now and then someone brings your life a song. Now it's love I'm hearing in the morning breeze. You're everything I wanted love to be, and I'll love you to the closing of our days. And yes, I'll need you through the valleys and the shadows and the highways, and we'll put our feet up on the path of life and its byways. And in the mornings, when I wake up by your side, in the evenings, as we stand against the tide, every hour you are with me, I can see you're everything I wanted love to be. And I'll love you to the closing of our days. And yes, I'll need you through the valleys, through the shadows, through the highways, and we'll put our feet upon the path of life and its byways. And in the mornings, when I wake up by your side, in the evenings, as we stand against the tide, every hour you are with me, I can see you're everything I wanted love to be. Yes, you are everything I wanted love to be.
That's pretty. That's so pretty. That was Daryl Scott, Malcolm Holcomb, finishing up that part of the show with You're Everything I Wanted Love to Be. Daryl wrote it, but they just did it together, and you've never heard it like that. This is truly limited edition music. You're listening to the Jammin' at Hippie Jacks Radio Hour right here on East Tennessee's own WDVX 89.9, 102.9 on your FM radio dial. And for those of you outside of listening range, www.wdvx.com. That's for you, Luton. Jammin' at Hippie Jacks Memorial Day Weekend Festival, May 21st through the 24th. www.jammin'athippieJacks.com. You can find out all about it. Okay, we're going to continue on today with this fine set of music that was recorded in the back of the hippie bus on the hippie farm right here on the West Fork of the Obie River in beautiful, beautiful Overton County, Tennessee. This first song is called Way Down in the Woods, which is pretty much what we are. Daryl is too, now that he lives next door. And it's a song that was written by Malcolm Holcomb and that they do together. Daryl talks about how much he liked this song in the beginning, and I found it very interesting, his point of view. And then also a Malcolm Holcomb song, Tomorrow Morning Coming Soon, an older tune. And then a song that I'm just now getting familiar enough with called Passing by Daryl Scott. What great performance, what great guitar playing, and what a neat rendition with Malcolm in there with him. Once again, this is Daryl Scott, Malcolm Holcomb in the back of the hippie bus on the hippie farm.
Way down in the woods, as far from the highways, away from the moments unnoticed and gone. Way down in the woods, touching moss so soft, dead woods dying, time's fertile arms. Thank God for the stars, each one's in the heavens. Thank God where you are, your traveling steps. Way down in the woods, I will go for my rest. Way down, down in the woods I will go. Down in the woods, the dogwood survive. Around the blaze of the briar, Virginia pines. Way down in the woods, and the ivy lay sleeping, patiently waiting, sunlight to find. Thank God for the stars, each one's in the heavens. Thank God where you are, your traveling steps. Way down in the woods, I will go for my rest. Way down, down in the woods I will go. Way down in the woods, the wind knows the way to carry the voice of sweet angels made. Way down in the woods, walking close to my heart, turn loose in my tongue and thank God for the stars. Thank God for the stars, each one's in the heavens. Thank God where you are, your traveling steps. Way down in the woods, I will go for my rest. Way down, down in the woods I will go. Thank God for the stars, each one's in the heavens. Thank God where you are, your traveling steps. Way down in the woods, I will go for my rest. Way down, out in the woods, I will go.
That's what I'm talking about.
Look at Wichita.
That's right.
Heard him singing in a local dive where the sun shines inside out. People come in and go and they stay a while. Some folks listen, others don't, but everyone is there, waiting to hear what they can take, make their lives a little better. Now one man caught my ear, I let go of my hands. Couldn't help myself but try to listen. Songs by dancing in everybody's shoes. Colors of a rainbow all shaded with the blues. What do people do when they do what they do? Why do people say what they say anyway? Tomorrow morning's coming soon. Tomorrow morning's coming soon. Cigarettes, simple smiles, booze, and calculated frowns. The crowd was doing the right thing. Sitting in the back of this bus just try to sing. And the soul of his voice, familiar to the marrow in my heart, turned loose of my head. Pain in my chest and it stopped just a second. That was enough. Sitting around thinking, don't mind it a lot. What do people do when they do what they do? Why do people say what they say anyway? Tomorrow morning's coming soon. Tomorrow morning's coming soon. I'm gonna hear that then. What do people do when they do what they do? Why do people say what they say anyway? Tomorrow morning's coming soon. Tomorrow morning's coming soon. Mighty fun. That's fun.
Soon.
You guys are a treat. I think people are so worried about living forever they forget to live right now. That's the big problem. That's why they buy all that stuff. We ain't got that problem.
There's an ancient wind blowing across the rolling hills tonight. The sun is setting red in Oklahoma, and I have come back here to earn a dime and sing a song or two and bear witness in this big world I've been roaming. I remember Mom and Dad working in the red dirt fields, my childhood fear of hellfire everlasting. Dad only speaking Cherokee by the light of black and white TV. I didn't know it then, but we were passing. I was born into Kentucky, Kentucky's born into me. From Scott Irish blood, or so they tell me. white southerner, American landowner of the free, has always felt like words they tried to sell me. But I learned to hide my southern tongue up in the great white north. Spoke when spoken to or when they asked me. And I showed up to the job on time. You minded yours, I minded mine. But time was, well, not the only thing passing. I too was passing. But and what is passing when your black tries to white and your white tries to black and you're broken on the inside from everything you lack? When your love turns to hate, when your hate turns to please, when you're running from yourself, oh, it'll bring you to your knees. That is passing. I'm an old gray black woman with a paintbrush in my hand, coloring the shadows that still haunt me. Men in white hoods do good, sad-eyed Jesus ruled my neighborhood. You can send your Satan now if he wants me. Every morning I'm awakened by possibility. No angry God is welcome at my door. And I know that I stand for more than you can see. I will not lie in silence anymore. And I know that I am dying. I know you are dying too. The soul we've encased comes unfastened, and we fall and we fly forever to the great unknown. Hallelujah, Jubilee, we are passing. And we will only be remembered for the one we came to be. Hallelujah, Jubilee, we are passing. There's an ancient wind blowing across the rolling hills tonight.
It's beautiful, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Playing great music just for you. That was Daryl Scott inspired, Passing, performed by Malcolm Holcomb and Daryl Scott in the back of the hippie bus on the hippie farm right here in beautiful Middle Tennessee. Just a taste of the kind of music that you would hear at the festival coming up May 21st through the 24th on the hippie farm as well. www.jammin@hippiejacks.com. Malcolm will be here. Daryl will be here. Maybe we can entice them to get together for a song or two. Wouldn't that be fun? Going to finish up today with a quintessential, if I may, Malcolm Holcomb song. One that I've recorded 3 or 4 times in 3 or 4 different live situations. Always great. And every time I record it, I think I've got the best one I'll ever get. and then something new happens. And something new happened just the other day in the hippie bus. So this is Daryl Scott joining Malcolm Holcomb in a song that Malcolm wrote, A Far Cry From Here.
I've heard misfortune losses and I wasted ways before me by the cars, giving someone time enough for spending love on the borrowed. And I placed myself at ease, listening to the lies of self-belief, wanting something close enough for keeping a far cry from here. Even still, the night was passing, and behind the hearts an emptiness still followed. Distance damns the swallows, hard for lending love on the borrowed. I believe in ways than these. Speak another dear who has been spared. Innocence is near, but they'll far cry from here. Someone said that it's true to know there's belonging when you're longing for someone. And my shoulder rests a road I only follow, love on the borrowed. I believe in ways than these. Speak another dear who has been spared. Innocence so near, but they're far cry from here. They're far cry from home.
That was Malcolm Holcomb and Daryl Scott finishing up today's show with A Far Cry From Here. How cool was that? You don't hear that anywhere else but the Jammin' at Hippie Jacks Radio Hour, which airs every Saturday from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on WDVX. If you'd like to know more about Jammin' at Hippie Jacks and all things hippie, our website is www.jammin@hippiejacks.com, or call me on my phone on the farm, 931-445-3328. I'll pick it up and say hello. Funding for this program was made possible through a grant provided by the Tennessee Department of Transportation to encourage litter-free events, to encourage recycling, and to encourage litter prevention education. Jammin' at Hippie Jacks operates under the 501c3 nonprofit organization, the Council of Americana Roots Music, which is dedicated to presenting, promoting, and far, far, far more importantly, as we found out today, preserving Americana Roots music. I want to thank Seth again. Thanks, man. Thanks all the people out at Hertz, Lichtenstein, and Young. They are truly a part of our solution, and they help the music go on. Well, when Malcolm and Daryl showed up the other day, I'd been having a kind of a weird week, and I can't say that things weren't going my way because they always are, but you know, you have your ups and downs, and I might have been just a little down. And then, boom, there they were in the bus playing that great music, and Daryl Scott was playing that incredible guitar made for him by Guy Clark, and all of a sudden everything was better. Music truly is a healing force. I've always thought that the world could be changed if people would pay more attention to music and less attention to the hate and the anger. But what do I know? I'm just a hippie. But I'll tell you one thing, Malcolm and Daryl are truly part of the solution. Good night, everybody.